Hi, it's Tuesday. It's also the 25th, the last Tuesday of the month. And as always, we're glad to have you with us each and every weeknight. We're also going to be talking about your weather on this 25th day of July, where it was pretty much on average temperatures, even maybe a degree or two higher than average. That's not going to be the case after midweek. We've been talking about it for days. The cold front is still coming, and it's going to give us weather conditions and your updated forecast just out in the last hour that are more indicative of fall break possibly than they are 2 or 3 weeks before the official start of school. We'll talk about some heat, some shower chances, and a nice run of some weather before, who knows, maybe we'll see, of course, the heat come back, and more than likely we will. But the next couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, is typically the hottest of the entire summer months here in eastern Kentucky and the Commonwealth, but it's not going to be the case this time around. We may make up for it on the back end. We'll have to wait and see, but I'll have your forecast for you in more detail in just a second. Our top 3 headlines tonight will include a Magoffin County man who appears to be in the works or possibly reaching a plea agreement with federal prosecutors after being jailed for violating his parole on a previous case that he had a plea deal with. Federal prosecutors in. I'll get to that in just a second. Court records just filed today. The Magoffin County Board of Education met last Thursday. They talked about specifically the superintendent, the cuts that they've had to deal with from the state and more so from the federal level, and how that's affecting hires and what they're going to do to try to offset that. And also an exchange at the end of the meeting between someone and a few members of the school board, that someone offering them a donation to the school system, but it was contingent on the fact that the board members had to relinquish or give back their $75 a month stipend for their meetings that the state mandates that they take. Nevertheless, we'll go on to the Johnson County Board of Education meeting from there. They're contemplating joining other school systems in that fight against AEP and that proposed rate increase, and we'll tell you about their superintendent selection process as, of course, that follows the retirement of Superintendent Salyer. That's what we'll focus on tonight. And on the subject of school, while I briefly referred to it a few moments ago, the school board has decided to postpone the date for school to start in Floyd County. It will start on the 21st of August instead of the 7th. They're adding 2 more weeks to add some finishing touches to Floyd Central High School. No major construction, but some things that need to be done to make it safe and ready for everyone. And in lieu of that, they have postponed the start of school, giving everyone a couple of extra weeks of summer. My kids would love that, or my kid. I have no longer in high school. But they have 2 weeks before school starts, starting on the 21st for Floyd County. Our first top headline tonight is that of Greg Howard, who has remained in federal custody since being taken into custody from his place of residence earlier this year. He was out on parole for a plea agreement that was reached in a drug case, which he pled guilty to 1 count of distributing oxycodone, I believe it was. And then just earlier this year, the federal authorities, as well as state and local police, all convened on Howard's grocery on Lick Creek once again. And after being arrested on site and kept in custody since, it now appears, per court records that I just have today, just filed earlier this afternoon, that he may be in the process of reaching a plea deal with prosecutors. Following his indictment in 2013, for which he later entered a guilty plea to a single count of distribution of oxycodone, he was still on parole in March of this year, when on the 3rd day of March, this was the scene as federal agents and state and other authorities convened on Howard's Grocery, his place of business. It was there that he was served with another indictment arrest warrant, this time for 5 counts of distribution of oxycodone and possession with the intent to distribute hydrocodone for 5 transactions that authorities alleged he made from February the 7th through March the 3rd of this year, and court records indicating that he had a revenue, if you will, or had made $14,000 from those transactions, for which they were seeking forfeiture of that amount in the indictment warrant. He was taken into custody on the day of March the 3rd from that scene that you were just looking at, and has been in federal custody since. While there's been no mention of the parole violation, we now have court records which say that he had moved to continue his trial date from August the 7th, citing that his attorney had received a plea agreement from prosecutors on July the 11th, but that his attorney was out of town and that they weren't able to look at it together between he and his attorney until July the 23rd at the Pike County Detention Center, and that during that meeting and while reviewing the plea offer that Howard had received, he and his counsel discovered some matters that needed to be addressed, which will affect sentencing guideline calculations. So Howard and his counsel requested additional time to reach a proper agreement with the United States, with the court agreeing that they would grant that motion and now move the trial date, should there still be one, up until September the 5th at 1 o'clock at the U.S. Courthouse in Pikeville. So a trial date now set for September the 5th, pending any possible plea agreement, which looks as though at least is under consideration by Howard and federal prosecutors. I'll be right back. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Satisfy your hunger and get a great deal on some famous home cooking at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where we started the under $5 daily specials. On Wednesdays, it's our 3-piece dinners, famous crispy or roast, any way you like it. Get a leg thigh and a wing, 2 sides and a biscuit for only $4.99 or $3.99 after 4 o'clock, and you can get a breast thigh and a leg for just $1 more. All at Where We Cater, gatherings big or small, your Sagersville Lee's. Here's another rare find at Gateway Motors. This Subaru Tribeca all-wheel drive, loaded with third-row seating and more, and great deals and low payments, most under $200 on units like this 07 Santa Fe all-wheel drive, this 2012 F-150. How about this 08 Yukon all-wheel drive, 90,000 miles, a one-owner, and everything else on the lot at Gateway Motors in Sagersville. 349 cars. Stop by the seasonal shop for the 2 biggest events of the season and find all the help, gifts, and decor you need with baby and wedding registry, something extra special for the new arrival or that little one turning 1 or more, and wedding registry, ideas, and planning for everything from the ceremony to gifts to the home. And the seasonal shop also has thoughtful ways to honor memories of loved ones lost, with personal and gravesite decorations that they'll gladly deliver to our local funeral homes. Find something to cherish all your memories at Fraser's Prater Drugs seasonal shop in downtown Sagersville. Wanting you to have a healthier life means providing access to quality, affordable health care. And to do exactly that, Hope Family Medical Center offers full dental care with Dr. Pratt and his team, a pediatrician team of 3 doctors and nurses and moms, complete health care by family physician Dr. Kelly Pratt and nurse practitioners Mildred Sizemore, Gail Faria, Shannon Conley, and Heather Blair. Behavioral health services with Kimberly Davis, with in-house lab testing and results, in-house x-ray and pharmacy, and all the caring, knowledge, and experience that these medical professionals represent
at Hope Family Medical Center.
We are all human. Because we're not perfect, we tend to make mistakes. Unfortunately, some mistakes are severe and carry more consequences than others. If you have been hurt in a car wreck, a truck wreck, or because of someone's mistake, reckless or careless behavior, you deserve help with your medical expenses, lost wages, and serious permanent pain and injuries that you have been made to suffer and will continue to suffer for the rest of your life. If you have been injured, I can help. I'm attorney Don Wayne McFarland. Call me and let me go to work for you. 349-9000.
Some of the coverage from Thursday night's Magoffin County Board of Education meeting will include discussion on cutbacks that the Magoffin County School District, like many others, are having to deal with and work around, as well as an exchange toward the latter part of the meeting in which someone offered the school district maybe a sizable donation, but it was contingent and only going to be promised or given if the Board of Education members would relinquish or give back their monthly $75 meeting stipend. First and foremost, special recognition of 2 individuals taking advantages of opportunities before them and continuing their education. Juanita Perkins and Corey Thomas, both just now completing their GED within the Adult Learning Center in the Magoffin County High School system, which is continuing an outstanding and productive year. Perkins, in addition to now having her GED, is also in the CNA program. Thomas, you may recognize as a local Sagersville firefighter. From there, the Director of Finance, Kevin Owens, gave an update on closing out the fiscal year and how the next fiscal year is beginning with the first payroll to be going out on last Friday. He also mentioned that the annual audit for the Magoffin County school system is scheduled for September the 19th through the 22nd. That was followed by a discussion from Superintendent of Schools Scott Hilton on how the district is dealing with about $230,000 in losses in state and mostly federal funds, and how the school system is not refilling some retiring positions in order to be able to maintain and hire the number of teachers they need within the system.
So right now, what we've been focused on, I've been working with some of the principals and trying to make sure we finalize all of our posted positions and the postings for these positions that are out there. We've had some retirements take place within the last 2 weeks. We've had a couple positions open up, so we're trying to make sure we get these positions posted, and we're going to make sure that we try to start the school year off with certified people in these positions. We're not going to try to have subs starting the school year off. We're going to try to have qualified certified people in. The other thing I want to talk to you a little bit about is there's a few positions that I'm not going to fill back when some of these retirements take place, and one of them is a central office position. I'm going to have a lady retire, and I've already met with our staff, and we're dispersing those duties and moving them out among our staff that's still remaining. Some of the reasons for the conservative part of it is that we still get cut every year. We got cut in our federal programs within the last 2 weeks, around 187,000 to 190,000 in Title I and Title II programs. We got cut 38,000 at the state level from our career tech center program. So, that's roughly $230,000, $220,000 to $30,000 that we got cut. So we've got to make the necessary adjustments to offset that. And one of the ways is when I have retirements take place, if I can disperse those duties and not fill some of these positions, that's what I'm trying to do.
And for the last 35 minutes or so of the meeting, Brent Patrick addressed the board on a variety of topics, from field trips to weather balloons to, for the second time, trying to press the school board members into giving up or donating back their $75 monthly meeting stipend in exchange for apparently what was to be a sizable donation on Patrick's behalf.
But now listen, I will not ask no more.
I appreciate
I will not ask no more, but you all are not interested in giving your money up. And
legally we can't.
Your statutory.
The board has to be paid. The school system has to pay it.
But you can donate it back, like perfect attendance every month or whatever
No,
you
no,
speculate.
no.
You can't, Don? He can't donate his check back to whatever he wants to in the school system?
That's a tough question. Not necessarily, but maybe to private entities affiliated with the school. It's hard to do it in your own name.
But what you run into, I'll give you an example like this. What you run into is just like they approve these fundraisers tonight.
If it would be legal, would you do it right now?
They're the ones that approve the fundraisers, and if they turn around and donate, that's where they run into.
If it would be legal, would you all do it?
Like I said, I give money, but I don't put it out that I give it to the school, because I'm not going to say I'm going to give it to the high school in my name, and then the grade school comes and says, why didn't you give it to me?
I donate over a third of my check what I get.
I don't ask you to donate a penny. You donate if
you don't want me to donate.
If I donate, I don't ask for recognition. So if you want to donate, it's fine, it's good. But don't come in here and start condemning us.
I'm not condemning you. I'm not condemning you. You brought up the tax deal, I just explained it to you.
You're getting irate with me.
You was the one
You're
started
irate
getting
because of
direct
taxes.
with me.
All right,
All right, let's keep it, to the issues and the agendas at hand.
If you want to donate, that's fine, but don't come in here and put a big show on.
Well, we're not here to
Well,
argue.
don't listen, don't make this personal.
That's right.
You don't don't make this personal.
Well, you're making it personal.
No,
because
I'm not making it
We
personal.
receive,
I'm not making it
a
personal,
salary.
and you raised your voice to
and
me.
you're bringing this up every meeting.
We'll take care of
Boy,
it.
that's the first time I've ever heard you talk, and you want to bring it out tonight, don't you?
Let's get this is not the place for this.
All right. Open that up right there, Mr. Wayne.
I will.
I can't hold it on my hand. Disclaimer, privacy.
All right, thank you, Mr. Patrick, for your time.
You can tell Mr. Hilton that what they lost out tonight.
All right, next we've got discussion from our board members.
And that discussion for the last few moments between the board members centered mostly around the success of the summer feeding program, with a couple of dozen sites feeding students meals prepared by the school system throughout the summer months. Another successful year for the program, some locations seeing well more than 100 students a day. And remember, if you would like to see this meeting in its entirety, you can find that coverage on this local programming network. Come by and check out this 2014 Jeep Compass 4x4, and come by and check out this luxurious, roomy, limited 2011 Town & Country. And this row of 2015 and 2016 Nissans and Fords and more, all like new, with low miles starting at $99.95. Check them all out at Broadway Auto Sales in Paintsville.
Hi, I'm Attorney Jeff Lovely. At my law office, we're determined to offer you and your family outstanding, cost-effective, and responsive legal services. I can help you if you've been injured in a car wreck. I'll be in your corner if you have a DUI or other criminal charges. You can file bankruptcy and stop those harassing phone calls, or I'll fight for you and your children in divorce and custody cases. For all your legal services, contact me when it matters. In Syersville at 349-4522, and West Liberty at 743-1965.
A tire more than 25% low, about 8 pounds, makes you 3 times more likely, and worn out tires 11 times more likely to be in a tire-related crash. Don't take your or their safety for granted. Come in for a free inspection, 6 months, no interest financing, the best price and best selection at Conley Tire in Staffordsville. Get your $10 tickets now for the 14th annual and perhaps biggest community day yet, featuring the incredible Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, and other headliners like the Dave Adkins Band, the Edgar Loudermilk Band with Jeff Autry, Toddy Preston and the Black Powder Express, and many, many, many more. And all the food, fun, games, and fabulous prizes that you can stand, all for just $10, and kids 12 and under, they get in for free. Community Day in the Ramey Park in Sagersville is Saturday, August the 19th. Parkway Pharmacy, now open earlier from 8 a.m. until 6 in the evening to better suit your schedule and lifestyle, and to help you get better and live a healthier life. And if allergies are bogging you down, they're armed with the very best in over-the-counter relief for adults and your children. Reach owner pharmacist Jesse Rudd and his assistant pharmacist Megan Castle and their staff at 8 o'clock in the mornings or at 349-4400. During last night's session of the Johnson County Board of Education, a couple of discussions we'll make point of this evening. One being as to whether or not the board will jump on board, if you will, with other school districts in fighting a proposed rate increase by AEP, which we have brought you here as the same situation has been brought before local governments. And then it was on to selecting a new superintendent of schools. About a half-hour long meeting. Some of the first business items to discuss were approval of a contract in regards to entering into their energy savings agreement with the company that we have covered on numerous occasions throughout this project. They will be coming into the school system, replacing all the coal-fired boilers, upgrading the lights to LED cost-saving fixtures, all in an effort to cut the utility bills by using less power and using that savings to pay for the upgrades, not costing the district any money out of pocket, and possibly at the end of each fiscal year putting a little money back into their pocket through the agreement that they did give approval to last night. From there, Chairman Bob Hutchinson gave an update on the Superintendent Selection Committee, the process which has begun given the announced retirement of Superintendent Tom Salyer.
We've had 6 applicants and 2 out of state, 4 in state. The committee has met a couple times. They will be meeting again next Sunday at 2 o'clock to review any other applicants that might be sent in from today till then, because we have to wait till the 29th. They will meet on Sunday, as mentioned earlier, and present recommendations to the board Monday morning for the special call meeting. Any questions, comments?
And from there, still Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Salyer updated the board and those in attendance on the request from the KSBA for the school system to join them, as well as other school districts across eastern Kentucky, in fighting the proposed rate increase by American Electric Power.
This is something we've done probably a couple times in the past, that KSBA has asked us to go in with litigation with them on Kentucky Power AEP rates. Last time, Terry, you can correct me on this, last time they was looking about 13 or 14%, and because of the, I guess, lobbying and litigation with it, it got down to about 5%. We're trying to look at this again, about doing that again, because their proposed rate by AEP or Kentucky Power, once again, our share of it would be about $1,400. So, it's a good $1,400 spend if we get the rates lowered by a considerable amount. Terry, you'd like to say anything else you'd like to say about that? Or?
Basically, what it is to try to, for litigation, to fight the rate increase. The last time it was 13, we were able to get it down to 5. And what happens, they're asking for a 16% increase this time, guys. So it's a situation where all 30 districts in the eastern Kentucky portion, which is serviced by Kentucky Power, we come together as a group to be able to help offset the cost of litigation. It's $30,000, so that's divided up based on population and stuff like that throughout the whole district. So last time we had almost a 95% buy-in, and we're looking to have that, and if not more this time. So that's why we are basically recommending that for you all to jump on board.
And the Board of Education, as has every other local government entity that I have been covering for the past month or so, did last night unanimously vote to give monetary support to the cause and fight the rate increase. One other topic of discussion that we'll cover from last night's meeting that was also another increase, an increase for the school system to be in compliance with federal food programs that mandates that they raise the cost of their non-student lunches. This is non-student for all teachers, visitors, and staff, from $3 to $3.75 for lunch, and raising breakfast up to $2.50 per meal and snacks to $1.50. And a reminder, that is for non-student lunches and meals. Yes, Logan makes the best truck bodies on the market, and they also have a fully stocked warehouse of dump body parts, PTOs, hydraulic pumps, hoists, anything you need to get back on the road. And they are a full-service steel and aluminum service center. They keep I-beam, channel, angle, pipe, round rod, rebar, expanded metal, sheet metal, and aluminum all in stock. And if you've got a big project, they do commercial manufacturing to your specs. Logan, since 1904. Much more than diesel specialist, Black Smoke Performance is turning out excellent auto body collision paint and repair results with free quotes and estimates on everything from insurance jobs to that ding you got in the driveway, custom lift kits, bed liners, winches, and accessories, and full diagnostics and repair on anything gas or diesel, from brakes to fluid changes to major auto repair. If you want it fixed, lifted, painted, customized, or just maintained, just call on the team at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville, 100 May Drive, or 349-8785.
July is here, and Appalachian Wireless is bringing the heat. We're giving up to $50 off any smartphone of your choosing this month. Samsung Galaxy S8, normally $149.99, now $99.99. Samsung GS7, normally $49.99, now only a penny. That's any smartphone up to $50 off its normal contract price. And it even includes the 128GB and 256GB models. Better hurry as supplies are limited. 2-year agreement required. Better service, bigger savings at Appalachian Wireless, an East Kentucky network company.
Any projects, any plans, anything you've got going on this summer, they've got whatever you need for pennies on the dollar. At Parkway Gun and Pawn, where they'll loan you cash today on anything worth $1. Musical instruments, jewelry, electronics, games, guns, new and used. They can special order and have you something new in 2 days, plus ammunition at Parkway Gun and Pawn. Going on to tonight's Magoffin Farm Bureau community calendar, this in from North Magoffin Elementary, a reminder their kinder camp is going to be this week, tomorrow and Thursday, 9 to 2. I got an invitation today to join them tomorrow, so you can look for, if you don't know what kinder camp is, as do I, or as I do not, tune in tomorrow. Back to school night at North Magoffin is also set for August the 7th, 4 to 6. And a few other school-related announcements, and a couple just in. This one, though, is a reminder. Magoffin County Head Start now enrolling students. If your child's going to be 3 or 4 by August the 1st, get them in to Head Start and get them a Head Start. 349-3488 is the number to call. The new announcements come in from South Magoffin Elementary. I've got a couple from our folks in Cougar Country. South Magoffin Elementary is also having their kinder camp. It's this Thursday, day after tomorrow, from 9 until noon. Parents, you are welcome to attend. Students will have the opportunity to meet their teacher and have a whole lot of fun and some really cool activities. And breakfast and lunch will be served. Kinder Camp, South Magoffin, 9 o'clock this Thursday. And their open house has been set for August the 3rd. Disregard the typo if you haven't seen it already. August the 3rd, 3:30 until 6:30. I'll get that typo fixed and I'll remind you about that later. And Senior Day was today at the Water into Wine Food Pantry. Tomorrow is the regular day of distribution, 8:30 till 3:30 at the Lakefront Church of God on Route 30. And one last very important announcement that I have to make sure that I run. I know that we don't do yard sales on the program when they're of a private nature. We do them for churches or nonprofits and things of that nature. But there are just so many, especially in the summer months, that we just never had time to do them on a private basis. I've tried to figure out a few times how to make that happen and still kind of contemplating that. But I have one that I have to run tonight because it's at my house. So you understand, right? With your forgiveness. Lacey and actually a couple of Lacey's friends have gone through their closets, but also ours as well. So a lot of name brand clothing, American Eagle, North Face, Lilly Pulitzer, Victoria's Secret, Old Navy, men's and women's, but definitely a lot of young women's clothes. This is going to be this Friday, early Friday morning at the Double Wide there next to Lee's Famous Recipe at my Mom and Papa's old place. So if you'd like to stop by and see what the ladies have, guarantee they'll have something. And moving on, one obituary listing, a service provided by our friends at the Magoffin County Funeral Home. A reminder of services to be held tomorrow at the Magoffin County Funeral Home in honor of 41-year-old Misty Dawn Allen Combs of Bloomington, who passed away on the 23rd, the daughter of Roy and Ella Allen. Besides her parents, she's survived by her husband, Jamie, and 2 daughters, Kayla and Haley. Visitation continues this evening and up until services tomorrow morning at 11, once again from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. And that will leave one order of business for this evening, and that is your Licking Valley RECC-powered forecast, where we're definitely going to be off the mark to the tune of more than a few weeks. It's pretty much close to average, not necessarily but close to average through tomorrow. And then temperatures start to fall Thursday, and then from there, cold front gives us temperatures more indicative of, fall than summer. I knew I wouldn't hear a complaint. There it is. 61 for tonight. Clear skies. Look for some dense fog later tonight, carrying through about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, mostly clear and sunny again on your Wednesday. 87 degrees, dry, no word of precipitation at all. Thursday, while we do have partly sunny skies, we also have a cold front starting to make its way into the area, and with that, a 40% chance of showers, mainly after 10 in the morning, and then that increases to 50% by Thursday night. And then by Friday, you'll see the effects of that cold front. The rain chances first, then the cooler air. Check that out. Even though Friday does call for a 40% chance of some showers, mainly before 4 o'clock or so, I think we'll start to see a little sun, I'm hopeful, before Friday is over. 80 and 62. That's very close to, say, 79 and 59, and that sounds totally different, doesn't it? Some folks might see that. Saturday, 81, mostly sunny. Sunday, another gorgeous half of your weekend, 82 and mostly sunny again. Well, that's a wrap for this evening. Thank you for being a part of the show. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and as always is the case, I'm already working on headlines for tomorrow, for which we hope to see you then. Good night.